What is up, ducks? My name is Danny Kim, and welcome to another episode of You're Not Gonna Like Me. I'm reviewing the 5 best albums of 2020 so far. Starting off with number 5, Golden Child's Take a Leap. You really didn't expect that, did you? Now, Golden Child, they're kind of on a different level, I think, at least with this album. I'm not really a big fan of Golden Child's discography, really, but this album really hit home with me. They mix some funk with some cutting ass synths, and these synths are gonna fucking blow out your speakers. They're amazing. They're hard, they're rough. I wouldn't say the songs are all great, but from the song 1, that's the title track, to Make Me Love, that's I think like the 6th track or something. They have like 4 tracks in succession that are like the fucking best 4-track combo I've seen in K-pop this year. Whatever they do on this album, and in general, it's nothing really revolutionary. But at the same time, they do it so well, and each song has this centerpiece, this instrumental centerpiece that's memorable and that's quite unique. That the entire song revolves around, and it makes it seem like they put a lot of care and thought into making these songs have something to stand out, have something to freaking groove to. It's fucking amazing. So yeah, those 4 songs, I mean, it would have been higher on the list if all the other songs were amazing too, but like the 3 other songs I think are kind of mediocre, but the 4 songs, man, the 4 songs, Go fucking listen to it. Now at number 4, it's Hyukoh's 사랑으로. Hyukoh's been Korea's most popular band in the past few years. The public kind of know them as this hipster band, but they're too big to be, hipsters' favorites anymore. While they've always had some sort of like psychedelicness, some sort of very repetitive trance-like elements to it. Go listen to like their Wan Lee song. This album, 사랑으로, they don't give a shit anymore. they don't give a shit about making money anymore. They put like a fucking 9-minute song into this album. Like people don't listen to 9-minute songs. People don't even fucking listen to 5-minute songs anymore. They put 9 minutes. That's already a bold move. But let me just go through the songs. This is like a 6-song EP that's basically, a psychedelic trip, and it feels more like a jam session than a produced album. The melodies aren't the focus of this album. They're mere brushstrokes here and there in this very vast canvas of textures that are the sounds of the instruments. The tracks are very, very repetitive. Like, they have very few lyrics, and they repeat those lyrics over and over and over again. Instruments come and go, but they repeat the same melodical ideas, which probably isn't what the general public would like. They probably think it's boring. But the sensation of repeating something, it gives it a trance-like feel. It puts you out of trying to figure out what this music is, really. Like, it keeps you from, I guess, concentrating too much on the content itself. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm trying to say here, and it makes you focus on the journey of the album. So you stop thinking about, is this melody good? What will be the bridge? How will they transition from this chord progression? We stop thinking about that, and we just start enjoying. We just start putting ourselves in the music and going on a ride. The soundscape that they take us through, it's a fucking journey. It's an adventure, man. And I love it. They take a lot of influences from, I think, the Beatles, especially the White Album. I hear a lot of the sounds of the White Album here. Maybe some of the Doors. And I say slow dive, like some shoegaze elements there as well. We rarely get these albums that are like so out there and so just left field, really don't give a fuck. They really just want you to like fucking go on a ride with them. It's a journey, it's an adventure, and you should go on that adventure. Next at number 3, we have Hwasa's Maria. I've rated this pretty high on the honest review. It's 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to speak too much about this song. It has a lot of different vocal techniques, a lot of different vocal styles, musical styles as well in terms of instrumentals. It's like a buffet. You get all sorts of different types of, Hwasa here and there. But there is a theme that's tying the entire album together. And that theme is about self-love, but not in the typical way that you see in a lot of K-pop albums these days. It lacks the closure. It's a cliffhanger at the end. Hwasa still hasn't figured it out. She's not completely sure about whether or not she can love herself, how to love herself. And I love the fact that she's honest and she's vulnerable and she's sincere in this album to admit that she's not there yet. Probably one of the most sincere K-pop albums of this year. Go listen to my honest review on that. It's a great fucking album. Number 2, DPR Live. Is anybody out there? This is probably the most cohesive album experience of this year. This album has a theme and a story. It's about loneliness, about DPR Live's fear of falling from the success that he's been receiving the past few years, taking a leap of faith, and just self-realization. He puts it in a way where it's a very coherent story. It's a very easy to understand story, and he's the protagonist. In the beginning of the album, DPR Live falls and wonders why his life is this way, why his dad had to get cancer. He wonders why his life is the way it is, and then he goes on this hero's journey to realizing and going through all these different experiences, and in the end realizing that there's no rescue needed. It's very honest, and it deals with the mind of DPR Live, the emotions that he's going through. So it's not just as simple as, okay, I fell down and now I'm getting back up. He goes through a lot of different emotions here and there. It's like a zigzag, a swerve and curves here and there. And that's what's beautiful about this album, and I think that's what's beautiful about life. This is a type of album that you want to listen from front to back. It doesn't feel like a collection of songs. It feels like just one single long 30-minute track. I think he took a lot of influence from Tyler, the Creator, his album Igor. That album was one of the best hip-hop albums to come out in the past decade. It's great that this guy pretty much kind of made the Korean version of Tyler, the Creator's Igor. It's fucking amazing. And number 1, best album of 2020 so far, Woon's Twilight Zone. Probably the best pop album of 2020 so far for me, and just best album, period. Let's start with the fucking first song. Okay, the first bar of the song. Dun, dun, dun. I'm tone deaf, but powerful. It just starts off 0 to 60, just full of these funky ass grooves that just make your head go bopping like this. Especially the first 2 tracks, Lazy Lovers and Get Ready. My god, we've seen some fucking funk in K-pop this year, but this Woon, man, he's like fucking dirty. Like this funk is dirty funk. Like I love this funk. The funk shit on this album is probably the funkiest funk you will get in K-pop, period. And the rest of the album is just as great, though it's not all funk. And I love how Woon is not using, again, 500 different layers of instruments for his production. He actually takes a very minimal approach. And for me, that kind of restraint shows me a lot of care and attention to detail that is honestly quite lacking in a lot of K-pop these days, I think. We see so much noise. We see so much, layers of instruments. When an artist overdoes that, it definitely makes it seem like they care less. Just think about it from this kind of perspective. Let's say we have 100 people in the room. Then my voice, me saying something, would probably matter less than, say, if there were 8 people in the room. And Woon's album, they have 8 people in the room. Every single person has a voice. Every single person has a purpose, opinion, and an end goal. And that's what I love. It's restraint and purpose and care felt all the way throughout this album. I think this is by far the best K-pop album of this year so far. I'm not even a fucking fan of Hwasa, but I became a fan after this. Tell me what you guys think, and everybody just go fucking listen to this album, Twilight Zone. It's amazing. Oh my god, everybody should listen to it. Like the amount of detail, the attention to detail, guys. Seriously, go listen to some Woon and go listen to some good ass music. Tell me what your personal favorite fives are. If you're offended by this list, well, click on DKDKTV. What the fuck did you expect? Anyway, I love Woon. Man, go fucking listen to that album. And please go to our patreon.com/DKDKTV for supporting us. And, oh yeah, my band, Pira. Go follow my band, Pira, on Instagram. We're coming out with a music video very, very soon, which is going to be available on YouTube and also on streaming sites.